Thank you, Sally. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va? Merci. All right, allow me to introduce myself, then Kathleen will introduce herself. I'm the executive pastry chef here. I take care of your pastry and bakery operation here on board. I've been with the company from 1998. I heard, wow. Long time, right? Do you think I'm talking the truth? No, indeed not. In between, I took a break for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years, and I came back again. We talk about that on a later stage. If you want to know why I took a break and why I came back, you can always ask me. Yeah? Yeah. I'm sure that you're going to ask me that question.
Why did you take a break?
I got a better offer. I got a better offer, and in fact, the offer was just next door where I was living. Right. My country of origin is Mauritius. Does anybody knows where's Mauritius?
Yeah.
Where, sir?
What?
Where's Mauritius?
Never even heard of it.
Anybody knows?
Near India?
No, not close to India.
Just off the coast of Madagascar.
You're absolutely right. Yes, it's just east coast of Madagascar. Yeah.
Where's Madagascar?
It's in the Indian Ocean, close to South Africa.
I was right.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's not India, but Indian Ocean.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So it's close to South Africa. I was born in Mauritius. I grew up in Johannesburg, South Africa. And when I started my career, I migrated to UK. So a little bit of diversity, right? I started my career all the way from South Africa. I work in Africa, I work in Middle East, I work in Europe. And in 1998, I joined Disney Cruise Line. Beautiful, yes. And I'm still here.
Except for 3 years.
Yeah, so you still want to know? Okay, let me tell. Should I?
Of course.
Alright, for the 3 years, that's the reason why I left this company, because I got a better offer. And as I said, commuting, no issues, much better money. And on the same time, I wanted to get married. I had somebody. And she was living in London there. So, wow, nice. Everything fall good, right?
That was the
But,
better offer.
yes,
Marriage.
yes. But after 3 years, I came back again. Yeah. Anybody can tell me why?
Turned out not to be a better offer.
You love it.
I was already here. I was here for 10 years. You know, who want to be on the ship when you have a better offer in the land? Yeah? Yeah.
So why did you come back? Because you love Disney?
Because your wife came on.
No. She never worked. She has never worked on the ship. Yeah. She works for the British government, so she's okay there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Life is beautiful there.
Yes.
The reason why I came back, because the 3 years that I was away, I got an offer from Gordon Ramsay. So I used to be with him for 3 years.
Wow.
So that after 3 years, I decided to come back. So you're gonna ask me why I came back?
Yes.
Do you get locked in?
So working for him, do you think it's easy?
No.
So you can still ask me why I came back? Nobody can ask me. Okay, I leave it up to you. But as much as you all know that what we see on TV and what is on real life is always two different things. If I have to go and work for him, I would love to work. It was my own personal decision. Yeah, my own personal decision. But I really enjoyed working with him, right? And I will keep on talking, but now I allow Kathleen to introduce herself. Right, Kathleen?
Yes. Hello everyone, how are you?
Good.
How's your cruise going?
Good.
But most importantly, how are the desserts on the cruise?
Delicious.
So my name is Kathleen, like Chef Vivek said. I am from France. I am the pastry chef for Vanellope, the sweet shop. I don't know if you had time to go there yet, but if you didn't, please visit us. I joined Disney a year ago on the Disney Wish. I was with Chef Vivek at the time. He was my executive chef. And then because we switched, right? Some people go on vacation and others. But when I was a new hire, the chef was Chef Vivek. And then I moved to Treasure for a little bit, and then I came here on the Disney team. I started pastry when I was 16, so like 7 years ago. I was first an apprentice in France, and then I I worked a little bit in my region in Brittany, where we love the butter. And then I moved to the Alps next to Switzerland, and I worked there also for a little bit, and then I joined Disney. I started doing pastry because I love the way that it gives joy to people. When I was a kid, my sisters always made crazy cakes for me and my brother, and so I think that's where I got it. And then, what better place to give joy to people than Disney Cruise Line, right? So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm happy to do this demo also because it's nice to see all your faces and to know a little bit for who we make all these desserts, right? So I hope you enjoy the demo.
Thank you, Kathleen. Very impressive. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna keep on talking throughout the demo. The demo will take 45 minutes. 45 minutes. What we came here to do?
Cut.
Apple strudel, right? We're not gonna making apple strudel because, to be honest with you, if we're gonna make apple strudel here, that will take very long time, right? So we're gonna do a demo. But while doing the demo, we're gonna we try to be as informative as possible, so that you go step by step how we are doing it. So we're gonna have from now, we already take 5 minutes. We're gonna have 40 minutes in our hand, and 40 minutes is good enough, right? Good enough for us to show you what we came here to do. Before we start, first thing I would like to tell you in terms of little bit about pastry. Here, my operation of pastry and bakery, I have a team of I think 32 people. We work 24 hours. I am not saying that we never sleep, we just work 24 hours. No, we have shifts, day shift, night shift. And my operation, pastry and bakery, there's always somebody there. So the operation is 24 hours. No matter what time we go, there is, depending on the shift, yeah? And all the dessert, what we've been serving so far, we prepare here on board, including all the allergy dessert. Only when it comes to dessert, from my department, there's two things that we don't prepare here. Is one thing is. She says, don't mention. Okay, I want. Right. First one is donuts.
Okay.
Yeah, we buy from outside, right? Second one is where she works. Excuse me. She's my pastry chef, right? So she's helping all the pastry generally, no matter where we require her. But her original, she's in charge for Vanellope. Yeah, so basically she's in charge for all the ice cream. And I buy partially ice cream. So she's not gonna be happy.
But don't worry, everything, all the gelato we make in Vanellope is homemade with love.
Yeah. All right. So when it comes to pastry is an art. Pastry is an art. It's not that anybody is here interested to work in the pastry in the future or have ever set interest. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Pastry basically it's an art. It's not a cup of tea for everybody. There's certain things that you really need to have to work in the pastry. It's something called patience. Patience is very, very important, because if you don't have the patience, you can never work. Yeah, that's come basically when you're doing your training. That's the time you'll come to know if you want to move forward or not. Right? So I will tell you on a later stage. Maybe if we go faster, then I can share my story about how I started. But right now we're gonna move on to apple strudel, right?
Yes.
So the very first question I'm gonna ask you, apple strudel, it's originated from which country?
Belgium?
France.
No way.
No.
Madam, you said something.
Austria.
You are sitting in front. You're asking me a lot of questions. Very interesting question. Yeah? So, Kathleen, I need an assistant later on.
I go and she replaces it.
Yeah, it's originated from Austria. It's originated from Austria, but took the popularity in the Empire of Germany on a later stage. But it started in the 16th century, long way back. We know the trivia exactly how it started. It's a long process, but if you're gonna keep on talking, we love to talk, Kathleen, right?
Love to chat.
Yeah.
We can chat with you all day.
Yeah, I know that Selby sees the crew staff. She likes to talk, but we are the chefs. We are little bit reserved. But Kathleen, you tell me now. You love to talk or not?
Of course we do.
Yes. But while we are doing this demo, if you have any question, feel free to ask. You don't have to wait until we finish our demo. You can ask us any question in terms of, we're going to be doing the Apple Strudel, right? There's not much you can ask, but if you feel that you need to ask, feel free to ask. But if you have any experience, like some of the desserts so far you have liked, some of the desserts you have never liked, let us know. Or if you have any question in terms of any dessert, we'll be more than happy to answer you, right? So now we're going to be doing Apple Strudel. The Apple Strudel, we're going to be doing in how many stages, Kathleen?
3 stages.
Okay, tell me the stages.
We're gonna prepare the dough.
Yes?
Then we'll move on to the filling. We'll talk a little bit about the apple and which one you can use, and which one is better
Why?
or worse.
We're going to make Apple Strudel, so we just use apple. Why do you want to talk about apple? It
Because
is Apple Strudel, right?
ingredients are very important. Chef.
Ingredients.
We
But
need
you was
to-
talking about apple. But we are making Apple Strudel, so why are you going to talk about apple? We are not making berries or something, or spinach, right?
Because some of them we cannot use.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. We're going to talk about this apple because apple, not all the apples you can use for strudel. There is certain apple you can't use. Why? We're going to talk about that later. And the last stage is,
We're gonna roll the dough.
we're going to roll it.
Yeah.
Okay, with what we're going to be rolling?
Rolling pin.
Where's the rolling pin?
I don't know.
Alright, we check it out. Right? So now, pastry, it's recipe-oriented department. Every single thing that we prepared in the pastry, we need to make sure we measure it. Baking time, baking temperature, very, very important. And as I said, the most important things in the pastry is your patience. If you don't have the patience, you can't. Yeah? So we start with Apple Strudel?
Yeah.
Alright, before we start, I would like to just let you know, this is just a satellite place that we have set. So every single thing that we're going to be doing in front of you, in terms of our food safety and sanitation reason, we're going to trash it. Because when we work in our pastry, we follow a very, very strict rule of sanitation. So every single food or dessert that is ready to eat, we handle with the gloves. Here we're going to be doing a little bit different way. Why? Because we don't have all kind of facilities. When I prepare the dough is a raw, is not ready to eat. So I can use my bare hand. But if I use my bare hand, I need to wash my hand, right? So I don't have a tap, so I'm going to be using the gloves. So when you're preparing the dough, try not to use the gloves, because firstly, the gloves sometimes when you prepare the dough, what happens when you're kneading the dough? When you're kneading, sometimes when you remove your hand, you don't find the gloves. You will see how I'm going to be doing, right? Secondly, because when you're preparing the dough, you need to feel the dough with your hand, right? So you need to feel, you need to get the feel of the dough and the consistency, right? So this is how we follow the very strict rule of sanitation. And all time we have pastry is equipped with all modern machineries. Sometimes we just press the button and the things get done. Still we require the manpower. But here we didn't bring our measuring scale. Everything that we have brought here has already been scaled. Yeah, has already been measured. And what next?
Apple strudel.
Of course, we are here for Apple Strudel. We're going to talk about Apple Strudel all the time, right? And when we are, as I said, that every pastry, all the recipes are very, very important. If we have to bake certain things for 6 minutes, 6 minutes means 6 minutes. We can't go for 4 minutes and we can't go for 7 minutes. So why? Because there are certain things that we prepare. When it says 6 minutes, when you remove it, it looks like still unbaked. But you're gonna say, okay, let me take another 2 minutes extra. But what's gonna happen that 2 minutes, I will take a simple example of brownie. When you're preparing it, when you're removing it, it looks like raw, but it's ready. Why? When you remove it, it's still in the process of cooking. When it's cooled down, then it's set. But if you wait until when you look at it, it's already fully baked. But when it's cooled down, what are you gonna get? You're gonna get something like hard like this. So that's why we follow the procedures, right? So I can see that Kathleen is already checking. You're checking the checklist or what you're doing?
I'm preparing everything for you.
Alright, for me?
Yes, chef.
Okay, I'm your assistant now.
No.
Yeah, yes, it's okay. Yeah. So when we prepare the dough now, in the pastry we use a mixer. Or if you have a KitchenAid, make it even better. But here we don't have to, if we bring the KitchenAid, we're gonna bring the measuring scale, it's gonna look like a full-fledged pastry. So we try to just take it a little bit easy, but as I said in the beginning, we're gonna be as informative as possible. If you feel that we are going too fast, just stop us anytime, right? Because we want you to follow all the steps so that one day when you have little bit of time, you can surprise your family. Like I do sometimes. Yes, I do sometimes when my missus is at work, the kids is gone to school, what I will do? England, some very, very cold, so I don't feel like going outside. So I try to cook something different. And I know that she will be coming later. So when she comes, she's already tired. So voila, food is ready. Here we go.
Do you make apple strudel?
Apple strudel, no, I make other dishes. Apple strudel, that it is going to be a long process, right? Yeah. So now, to prepare the dough, you can see as we don't have a mixer here or a KitchenAid, we have brought a big bowl to make it easy for you to see what we're going to be doing. I will correct myself here before I move on. I said earlier on, every single thing that we prepare in the pastry, we measure it, right? But now, what I will do, I will take the flour and I will put it like that. So you're going to ask me a question, why you never measure it? So as I will tell you very straightforward, this dough, what I'm preparing right now, is a regular dead dough. If for any reason when I'm preparing this dough, it will become too soft, I will add extra flour, and if it becomes too hard, I will add extra water. It's not a dough that you're preparing that you're going to prepare bread. Bread, when you prepare, you're using the yeast. But if you don't follow the exact amount, what will happen? Your dough, when you're preparing the bread, it will rise because you knock it down 3 times, right? So when it goes in the oven, it was like this. But as soon as after 5-10 minutes, you see, it's gone down. Because if you don't follow the recipe. This one is just a regular dough. So that's one I put it like this. Flour is inside, you have to use a flour that have gluten. All-purpose flour, which flour? High gluten flour. Even you can use cake flour because there is gluten. But do not use rice flour. Rice flour there is no gluten because on a later stage, we have to stretch this dough. If there is no gluten, we can't stretch it. So it's very, very important, gluten has to be inside, right? A high gluten flour or all-purpose flour.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if I don't have time to make the dough? Can I use something?
Oh yes, very good question. If you don't have time to make the dough, you can go to supermarket and buy phyllo. Phyllo is as good as a dough that we are preparing. But as much as I know, and you know Kathleen, a homemade product is much better than the one that we buy. So why are you going to waste time, take your car and go to the supermarket, come back? You save time, no?
Okay.
Yeah, save time, just prepare. You have flour, you have all these ingredients at home, then just do it.
Then why you don't do it on vacation, chef?
I do something else. I do other desserts. Yeah? So flowers,
I have a question.
yes madam,
Have you sifted this or you strained from
already
it?
sifted. Already, yeah. All the flour that we use is all sifted.
So you don't sift again?
No, it's already sifted. Yeah. So once because we don't use any flour unsifted. All is sifted. So prior to this demo, we have already prepared. Otherwise, 45 minutes will go 2 hours. Yeah. And so flour's in right now, and there are few ingredients that we're gonna be putting. First, I will go with salt. So I will put pinch of salt. Sugar. I'm using granulated white sugar, right?
Yes.
What I'm using?
Granulated white sugar.
Is for what?
Color, but not taste.
Yes, it's not to give the sweetness, just to give color when it's baking, right? Now, after that, we're gonna be using eggs. All the eggs that we use, what kind of egg we use?
We use them already blended and pasteurized
Exactly. Why we use pasteurized egg?
because it's for when we use fresh eggs, it's for immediate consumption.
Exactly. The fresh egg is for any product that we prepare for immediate consumption. If we use fresh egg. In the pastry, we don't use fresh egg at all. We use all pasteurized egg. pasteurized egg. Why? Because we use a cooling process. The cooling process takes 6 hours, so it's already 6 hours. I can see the dining team is serving a tasting of Apple Strudel. I would like to give you advisory. If you have any allergies, gluten, wheat, dairy, nut, soy, please do not try. Other than that, go ahead. Right? So I was talking about eggs. So what I was talking about, the long process. So every single product that we use in the pastry, we don't use it straight away. When we prepare cheesecake, we need to cool it down. So it's already 6 hours. So that's why we use all pasteurized egg, right? So now we're gonna use pasteurized egg, the egg yolk and the white all together, equivalent to 1 egg. And to mix the dough, because on a later stage, we're gonna stretch the dough. How we gonna stretch it? We need to put something. You can use either melted butter or oil. So here I'm gonna be using, I will use oil here. Canola oil, you can use olive oil, any kind of oil. This will help for the dough to soften. And finally now, we're gonna be using water. The water has to be in room temperature. The reason why room temperature, if you use cold water, your dough will become too hard, right? And if you use warm water, the dough will become soft, and when you're scratching it, it's gonna start breaking. So this is not the primary reason. The primary reason is that once this dough is ready, you won't be able to use it straight away. Your dough needs to rest for a bare minimum of 3 hours.
You guys are ready to stay with us for 3 hours?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. You're not gonna miss your lunch, right? Okay. So why I said we don't use cold water? Because if you use cold water, instead of 3 hours, it can take 4 hours, maybe 5 hours to go back, for the dough to go back again to room temperature. So that's why we use room temperature water, right? So water is in now. Now I'm gonna knead this dough. As I said, it's gonna be very difficult for me to knead the dough in a bowl. You can see I'm using the gloves, but when you're preparing at home, try not to use the gloves because it makes it very, very difficult and you're not gonna feel the grip of the dough, right? So just move it, you have to knead it in such a way that you don't fight with the dough. All the flour has to be out, right? Like this. You can see it's very difficult for me to knead this dough. In no time, all the flours will be out of this bowl. You can see. But now how I'm gonna fight with the dough, how I'm gonna do? It's gonna be very difficult. In order to make it easy for me, what I will do, I will try to work on the table. Or if you have a marble tabletop or stainless steel tabletop, even better. You know, you need to knead it on top of the table because here it's gonna be difficult. So this is a tablecloth. If I put the dough, it's gonna get stuck. So I put some flour here. Now you can see there's nothing. Now we're not gonna be fighting with the dough. We will try to knead in such a way that the dough doesn't get nerves and it doesn't get over kneaded. What is nerve is that I won't be able to show you, but only time you're gonna see the nerves is when you're stretching the dough. There'll be a fine line, and what's gonna happen when you keep on stretching, the dough gonna break from the line, and it will make it very, very difficult for you to glue it together. So we try to avoid that one. And now we knead it very gently like this. We try not to fight with the dough, very gently. It doesn't take long time to prepare the dough, right? And when you will come to know the dough is ready, because the consistency gonna be semi-soft and smooth. Only consistency like this. It's quite smooth and soft. But this dough, you will never be able to stretch it, not even in a million years. It needs to rest for at least 3 hours, right? So what I will do, if we leave this dough to rest just as it is like this, what's gonna happen after 3 hours?
Then dry out.
Completely dry out. Yeah, it's gonna have a skin on top of it. To avoid that one, what we're gonna do, we take canola oil, we just pour it in a bowl like this, and we place the dough here like this. We take a brush, we have a brush here, yeah. We take the oil and brush all over the dough. There is no guarantee this dough not gonna dry. Of course it's gonna dry. To avoid this dryness, now what we're gonna do, we will take a cloth, we just soak it in water and then cover the dough completely like this. But still maybe there's a possibility it will still dry. For the best result, what we're gonna take, cling wrap, airtight it. Like this, you guarantee yourself there is no skin. right? So this dough is only the dough is ready, but it's not ready to use. You're gonna let it rest for 3 hours. But what's gonna happen if you have to go somewhere? You have only 2 hours in your hand. You have to rush. Yes, you can do that. You can keep this dough in a temperature like this. Like this is your flat grill, quite warm here. You can keep it here. Then you can do that. But what happens if you prepare the dough and straight away you have to leave, and you know that for a good couple of hours you're not gonna be back. The dough is ready. You can't just leave it outside. You're gonna keep it in the fridge. Yes, you can keep it in the fridge, but make sure you remove, when you remove from the fridge, that will take a longer than 3 hours to go back again to room temperature. We don't advise anybody to keep this dough for more than 24 hours. Why? Regardless to you keep this dough in the fridge for 24 hours in the right temperature, the mold gonna start growing. Why? Because the dough is a raw dough. After 24 hours, the mold gonna start growing, and when it starts growing, it multiplies by billions. It never stops. That's why we don't advise anybody to keep this dough for more than 24 hours. So the dough is ready right now. Any question about the dough? No question about the dough? Then we're gonna move on to our second task. What is our second task, Kathleen?
The feeling.
Okay, the feeling. Let's talk about the feeling. Let's talk about apple. When you go to the supermarket to buy apple, forget about the name. Let's go with the color. There's red, there's pink, there's yellow, there is green, all color. Now name: Golden Delicious, Granny Smith, Bramley, Brisbane, you name it, all kind of names. But what is the best apple for Apple Strudel? There's only 3. First one is
Granny Smith,
Granny Smith.
my favorite.
Why? Because acidity is low and the water content is low. Second one is Windsor. Third one is Gala. These are only 3 apples because low water content and low acidity, right? But if you want to put little bit of cooking apple, the Bramley, you can always use, because the Bramley apple, when you cook it, it becomes complete bashy. And that will at least give a little bit of body. But bear in mind, the Bramley apple is sour, completely sour, right? So this is how we use. So now, all the apple that we get it like this. We don't get the apple peeled, we don't get nothing. So, you know, as I said, we have 32 people working for pastry and bakery. And how many apple we gonna be peeling per day, Kathleen?
Too many.
Too many. Yes. When it comes to dessert, you know, we have apple strudel, apple crostata, apple tate, apple crumble, you name it, and so on and so forth. Plenty. So if I tell you to peel apple, from morning till evening, you're gonna be only peeling apple, right?
I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah. So give me that apple, that bowl over there, that little bit of apple has been peeled. It has been diced, but we're not gonna be doing it this way. When you peel the apple, after 5 or 10 minutes, the apple starts changing color, right? So let's do this one. I will peel with a knife here. Let's see how long does it take. Imagine how many boxes of apple you're gonna be peeling per day. Because we have a lot of, you know, when we prepare apple strudel, we use like about how many? 100 pounds, 200 pounds. So, and on the same time, we are making you see the skin we're not going to be using, right? Only this part we're going to be using. This part is the center core, where the seeds are, is the hardest part. We're not going to be using this one, right? Only this part. After that, we peel the apple, we cut it. Now, we're going to slice it this way. Like this. Now when we are cutting, you know, sometimes we end up cutting our finger. Then another problem.
And then one down.
One down. That takes longer. And that will take very long time, you know. So how long does it take for us, right, Kathleen? Tell me, to cut all these apples. I give you like 5 boxes of apple. When are you going to finish?
The next day.
Every
Morning
day.
and night. This
Yeah,
time
every
night
day.
shift.
Every day you're going to be peeling apple. How interesting is that?
Not that.
Not good at all. If every day you're gonna peel apple from morning till evening, what gonna happen? You know, when you sleep, next morning when you come, you will tell me, Chef, you know what? This apple is coming in my dream now. You know, can you just put me somewhere else because I can't. I can only think about apple. If I don't change you, what gonna happen? You're peeling the apple, you're cutting the apple, and on the same time you're talking alone.
I will be talking to the apple, Chef.
you'll be talking alone because
Maybe he
you
will
know,
become my best friend.
yeah, so we don't want this to happen. We try to, I know that there is no machine like that you put all the one box of apple inside, it can just peel or cut, or there is no such a machine so far. But yes, there is something. We're gonna do a quick demo. Surely you have seen that, some of you have seen that, but we have a very nice machine made in,
Friends! Just like me.
so you will try to show me how you use this machine.
Okay. We put the apple on this pipe.
Just be careful the blade here. Lock it, you already lock it? Yeah? Now go. Wow, what you did?
Ta-da! Et voila! Rapunzel hair.
So much. One apple. What it does, you see the center core? We don't need to take out the center core. Now,
You know the French people playing accordion in the streets?
so what you, yeah. So basically it has already been peeled. Now you just take a knife, you can see already sliced. Can I try one?
Of
Yeah?
course it-
Let me just try one. And I want to check how it works, right? Okay. I take this apple. Because I need this apple to make strudel, right? So let's just do it this way, right? So this one we're not gonna be using so much skin. What you gonna be doing with the skin of the apple? Eh? You gonna
we-
use- It's quite interesting, right? You know, when you're peeling apple, what's gonna happen? You don't have to. It's not a boring job because you can just peel the apple. You see how I'm doing it, right? You just do it like this. You lock it, and you start. You know, and on the same time, if somebody is next to me, I can always tell my stories. Okay, last night I had a very nice, interesting movie. I watched a movie. I went somewhere else. You know, this machine is doing the. My mouse is still rocking, but the hand is still walking, right? So all these things, you see. So in no time, we can say that, you know, already the apple is ready. The previous one, brownish, because we peeled it earlier. Now you can see the color. To preserve the color, are we gonna do something? Lemon juice, right? Yes, absolutely right. But if I recall myself right now, again one more time, earlier on I said that we're gonna use one apple that have low acidity. And on top of that, if you're gonna put more acid right now, it's not gonna work out. Yes, there is certain things that we prepare, we use the acid. But for this one, no. Right? Give me another bowl from there, Kathleen. The table is messed up here, Kathleen. We're gonna be using this table. What happened here? So let me just use this one, right? We take the apple, here we go. Now there is certain ingredients we're gonna be using, and what we're gonna do, all the ingredients, we're gonna mix it up together. First one is raisins. If you don't want to use, you don't have to use. If you want to use raisin currant sultanas, if you want to make it even better, you can put, you can soak it overnight in rum. Nice flavor, aroma, yeah? So raisin, golden raisin is inside. Another thing that is optional is nuts. I know a lot of guests are allergic to nuts, pecan, walnut, any kind of nuts. For flavoring now, what you're gonna do is cinnamon, ground cinnamon. Flavoring. To bind it together now, we're gonna use graham cracker, digestive biscuit. Yeah?
What cinnamon do you like?
Cinnamon, ground cinnamon.
No, special Ceylon, special.
No, just a regular one. Yeah, just a regular. As long as the flavor is there. Now, sugar. Earlier on when we prepare the dough, we used white sugar. You remember? Just to give the color. Now I can see we brought brown sugar.
Yes, chef.
Yeah, all kind of sugar. We want to tell everybody we work in the pastry, right?
No, I
Yeah.
wanted to make it a little bit healthy.
Okay, good. Yeah, nowadays a lot of guests are going for healthy options, so it's good. Right? You all agree, right? Yeah, absolutely right. When it comes to sugar, there is no healthy sugar. Whether it's white or brown, it's all unhealthy. If you have diabetes, you're gonna have a reaction with that. If you want to make it healthy, you have to use sugar substitute. So you can see I'm just mixing all together. whenever you mix your sugar to the apple, what gonna happen? Try to mix it up like this. After 5 minutes, what gonna happen? If your apple have water, it's gonna release the water. But I'm using Granny Smith. We guarantee ourselves that there's no water. After 5 minutes, we're gonna check it. So the dough is ready, the filling is ready. Now we're gonna be moving to our last stage. The last stage is the most important stage. If we go wrong here, we can't finish it off. So what we're gonna do, we are running out of time too. So Kathleen, you're very smart, you know. Instead of changing this tablecloth, you brought another shortcut. Yeah?
Tablecloth on top of tablecloth.
Okay, let's do it then.
No problem.
Right. Here we go. Table is already clean. Thank you. Now we're gonna stretch the dough. When we put the dough on top of this tablecloth, what's gonna happen? It's gonna get stuck. In order to avoid that one, what we do, we just put some flour. Not too much, otherwise we get that flour will make us dance, right? So now this dough was prepared prior to this table, right? So let's see. You can see still wrapped in the plastic to avoid the skin. So I remove this plastic right now. When I remove this dough, I remove it in one. If it's too much too, I'm not gonna cut it in half. In one dough, I just remove it this way. Right? And we're gonna be working on the table cloth here. So now, Kathleen, what we're gonna be doing?
Rolling it.
Yeah, but we're gonna be rolling here right now. Okay? So where's the rolling pin?
You want me to go get it?
No, you don't have to
Looks
get it
like
because
you're doing great, chef. No
yeah,
problem.
okay.
No need.
Let's do it. Come. Let's do it. We're not gonna be using a rolling pin to stretch this dough, but we use our hand, right? So we go easy. Keep on going, right? It will take a little bit of time, but eventually we don't have to use rolling pin for this. Yeah.
You know when you're trying to put a smaller sheet on a big mattress?
Just hold it over there in the corner. I will stretch it here. Go, keep going. When you prepare the strudel dough, you don't have to use a rolling pin. You just have to use your hand. It takes a little bit of time, but you can get it right. You can see how thin it's becoming. Right. We didn't use any rolling pin or something. We just use our hand just to make it thinner. We can go even more thinner. But we always come to know when the dough is ready. How we come to know?
Apple Strudel demo.
So when you put anything underneath and you will be able to read, so that means this dough is good. Right? So we don't need all these extra parts. We just need to prepare a thin one, a small one. So what we're gonna do? I will take first we have the melted butter here. The butter is already start setting up. Yeah. So we try to sprinkle. We don't touch the brush to the dough. We just go like this. Now we're gonna line up the apple. You're gonna line up, Kathleen?
Okay.
We're gonna line up, and the baking time of the strudel, I will just advise you. You know, I can't tell you the baking time. Baking time depends on the size of the apple strudel. If it's quite broader, it will take obviously longer. But if it's thinner, it will take very less time. So it depends on the size. No water, right?
Nothing.
Because Granny Smith doesn't have water.
I think that's enough.
Yeah. No water on this one, right? Because Granny Smith doesn't have water. what we're gonna do, the extra dough that we have, you can always use it one more time. While we still, we haven't yet started rolling this, let me just save this dough if I want to use it one more time, right? Here we go. Look like same amount of dough that we came with. I'm going back again, same amount, right? I can use it one more time, okay? Do it.
Chef, I think it's not working.
Yeah. How come it's not working? How come it's not gonna work? It has to work.
It's not staying.
Alright. Leave it. The best way to do apple strudel is try not to touch the dough. Because if you touch the dough, depending, me as a guy, you can see my nails. It's very small one, very tiny. See, let me see your nails. Okay, for you to, but I know most of the ladies have long nails. Yes?
I'm the one to cook.
Yeah, but if you try to touch the dough with a long nail, the dough will break. So that's why we try not to touch it. To make a nice round apple strudel, how we do that? We take this tablecloth, we just like this. One more time. This is for a thin crust. Now if you want to make it a thicker crust, what you're gonna do? Like this. So the end part, you're gonna just cut it off, and then in the meantime, you're gonna preheat your oven to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. Right? The oven has to be ready. You're gonna take a tray that have already Teflon. If there's no Teflon, you have to use a pan liner like this. But this pan liner is brown. When the apple strudel is ready, it will become brown. So when the apple strudel is ready, when you cut it, sometimes you end up cutting the paper because same color, right? So let's not use this one. We take, instead of that, we take melted butter. We just put it here so that the base of the strudel doesn't get stuck, right? And now I will take this strudel, I'll just pick it up and I'll put it here. But I'm not gonna do that. Why? Because I know that 44 minutes in front of you right now, I did it well. If I do it right now, for any reason it's gonna collapse, you're gonna do the same thing when you go back home because you followed what I was doing. So you're gonna do exactly, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna pick it up, but while picking up, it will collapse. So I'm not gonna do that. I will show you another way how you can do it. You just take the help of the tablecloth one more time, bring the tray closer, and very aggressively, you're gonna flip it over. But you're not gonna say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. If it's yes, it's yes. If it's no, it's no. So you just pick it up like this, very aggressively. Here we go. So it's not gonna do it, right? Once your strudel is already on the tray, do not use egg wash. Use melted butter. Melted butter all over, that will give a very good shine. And to give a golden color, what you're gonna do, you have the granulated white sugar left over and cinnamon. You're gonna make a cinnamon sugar and sprinkle all over. Yeah. Oven is ready. Strudel is ready to go inside the oven. If I put this strudel inside the oven, when it come out, it's not gonna look like a strudel. It's gonna have crack all over. To avoid this crack now, we take a knife. We just make holes. Because when it's baking, the heat will come out. If there is no hole, it will make its own way, right? Once the apple strudel is baked, an apple strudel like that will take anything from 25 to 30 minutes, right? This size. When it's come out from the oven, do not take a knife and cut it straight away and serve. If you cut it straight away, it will collapse. Let it cool down for about 15 minutes. It will be set. Then you can cut and serve it. So here we go. 45 minutes in front of you. Myself and Kathleen, we made it. I hope that it was, we went through stages that was quite easy for you to understand. If you have any question, myself and Kathleen, we're going to be still here. Other than that, from both of us, thank you so much. Have a nice day.
So keep that applause going for Chef Vivek and Kathleen. Thank you so much, guys.